video, I'm making comfort food, turkey chili and cornbread. Stay tuned. Hi friends, it's Karen. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm making some good comfort food, turkey chili and cornbread. I make turkey chili all the time for my family, but I've never made it with pumpkin puree, and I'll tell you why. Recently, I was at the doctor's office, and you know how sometimes they have the TV going, and on it they have healthy tips, healthy lifestyle tips like for cooking and exercise, and they had a video playing while I was there that was talking about a recipe for turkey chili, and this recipe called for pumpkin puree, and I think it came from the Real Simple website or something like that, but I do have the recipe and I'm going to put it down in the description box. But it does call for pumpkin puree. It's supposed to make the turkey chili a lot creamier, and we all know that pumpkin seeds, pumpkins are good for you. So let's go ahead and get started. I've got my ground turkey right here, and it's 85% lean ground turkey, so 15% fat on that, and I'm going to use a pound to a pound and a half. The recipe calls for a pound, but I'm going to use a little bit more than that. So here are the ingredients. I wrote them down. I did find the recipe off the internet. I linked it or went to the link for the Real Simple website, and I did find the recipe, so I wrote it down. So it calls for the ground turkey. Now I'm not following the recipe to a T. I am going to use a couple of different ingredients that are not on the actual recipe, but I'm going to put the recipe down that I'm using in the description box. All right, so the next ingredient I told you guys was the pumpkin puree. So I've got the Libby's pure, 100% pure pumpkin. Okay, and it is pureed. I'm using 2 cans of cannelloni beans. Oops. I've got my sea salt, and I'll put the measurements down as I am putting in the ingredients. I've got some, now the recipe calls for coriander. I don't have that, so I'm going to be using some cumin, ground cumin, and it also calls for smoked paprika. I don't have smoked paprika, but I do have paprika. What else did it call for? Chicken broth, and also calls for water. And I'm going to vary that a little bit. Because I like my chili, we like our chili thick. So I am not going to use what they are, the measurements that they're asking. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to cut back a little bit on that liquid. I am going to be using a little bit of this chili seasoning mix. It's a mild mix. I'm probably going to use half the packet. The recipe doesn't call for that, but I'm going to use that. And then the recipe calls for an onion, a small onion. My guys don't like onions. I know, I can't figure it out. I don't know why they don't like onions, because I love onions, but I'm outnumbered, so I'm not going to use it. But I am going to use a green pepper, so that kind of will give it some flavor since I'm not using the onion. And that is it. That's the recipe right there. So I'm going to go ahead and get my hands washed up. I've already washed off the green pepper. I'm going to wash my hands, and oops, I almost lost my green pepper. And then I'm going to pan the camera down so that you can see the whole process. Oh, I have to heat up a couple of tablespoons of olive oil, which I have over there by the stove. I'm going to heat that up, saute the green pepper, and then we'll go from there. So let me go ahead and get my hands washed up, dice up the green pepper, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, I know you guys see the Christmas decorations in the background. By the time you see this video, it's going to be in the new year, but it is Christmas season right now, and I figured this would be a good recipe to share with you guys, a good healthy recipe to start out the new year. And it's comfort food. You know, the weather is cold, and so this is going to be really good. And then guys, after I get the chili started, I'm going to make the cornbread. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, the chili is simmering. It's good to go. And so now we're going to get started on our cornbread. And I have here a container of Quaker yellow cornmeal. And so I'm going to make the cornbread using the recipe right on the back of the box of cornmeal. I'm just going to follow the directions just like it says on here. It's calling for some flour, and I'll put all the measurements down in the description and run them across the screen as I add them to the bowl. So you're going to need flour, cornmeal, baking powder, vegetable oil, and it calls for 2 egg whites or 1 egg. And I'm just going to use a regular egg, 1 egg. I'm not going to do the egg whites. And it calls for skim milk. I'm going to use 2% milk. I've got my pan here, and I'm going to spray that with some non-stick cooking spray. All right, so on to the cornbread. Nice and creamy. That pumpkin puree gave it a nice creamy texture. Hopefully my guys will like it because this is the first time making it with the pumpkin puree. I won't tell them until after they take a bite of it, but it did turn out good. I'm happy with it. So I hope you guys, if you give this recipe a try, let me know down in the comments if you're thinking about trying it, or if you have tried turkey chili with pumpkin before, with pumpkin puree or sweet potato. All right, guys, I will leave the ingredients, the recipe for the cornbread and the turkey chili with a twist, and that twist is pumpkin puree. I'll leave that down in the description box. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope you guys are doing well. And I will see you guys soon in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.